Hello and good afternoon and happy new year to all of you who are watching today on our live stream. I think we have some pretty exciting things that we're streaming today. So we are streaming on YouTube, but I think we're also streaming onto Instagram. Is that right, Nico? Give me a thumbs up if we are. Awesome. So if you're also watching on Instagram, we're going to be seeing what we're doing live here on camera, and you're also going to be able to see the feed that we have from our Access Studio computer. I am dressed today with our Perception Neuron Studio system, but just as a reminder, as it is CES week, just if you are interested in the market for a Perception Neuron Studio system or any motion capture system at all, our Perception Neuron 3 system is a 2022 CES Innovation Award honoree, which means that you can get that system available today. We have shipping from our offices in Miami, Florida. Domestic shipping, that means anywhere in the US. You're going to get it for anywhere between 3 to 5 business days. But if you're looking at international shipments, that's anything outside of the US, you're looking at about 4 to 6 business days. We have those available and ready for shipping today. We have a great offer as we're talking about Replikant, but as a whole, you not only get our award-winning motion capture system, but you also get a bundle that includes a 1-year license of Replikant and our motion capture face capture helmet that you see right here today. You get that all for the price of $4,999, which means you're saving about $1,600, and that is a fantastic deal because you get a wonderful motion capture system, but you also get 2 additional components which give you real-time streaming for what we're doing here today or for any additional application, which is fantastic. In other news, we also have a price reduction on our Access Capture Face app. It is now available for $200. So that means you can get it today. You can get the Face app. You can also combine it with the Perception Neuron Face Capture helmet. And you're getting all those additional features, which is fantastic, which means that if you want to do recording of your FBX files, we're adding real-time streaming for Unity and Unreal. You got the WAV files that you're able to save. So all those additional components that are part of the Access Face app and continual updates, you're going to be able to get that today for $200. And that is a one-time cost. It's you don't have any monthly licenses or anything like that. It's a one-time cost, and we are continually updating it for our users, same as like what we're doing with Replikant. So without further ado, what we will do is we will jump straight into our motion capture data. So if I can get a screen of Access Studio and me, a PIP, you'll see that right now I am with my Perception Neuron Studio system. I'm walking around in real time. You can see that we have basically my movements all around. I've got my finger movements. All of this taking place in real time. And so what we're going to do here for the stream is we decided to do a stream that will be focused on MetaHumans. And the reason we want to do MetaHumans is because not only are they incredible, but the versatility and creation options that you have inside of Replikant are second to none. What that means is that they're going to continue to add groom effects, clothing, and things that are inside and already available within the MetaHuman creator. So some of the things that you'll see here, we'll talk about like hairstyles, anything like that, that will be added. But there's a ton of different clothing options. And in addition to that, there's a ton of customization that you could do for body size, proportions that you do not get within the MetaHuman app. So one thing I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to give myself a quick A pose. Abdiel's going to reset me. So I've been walking around a little bit.
Okay, you're good.
And perfect.
There you go.
Just like that, I am good to go. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to go ahead and, funny enough today, we're going to sort of recreate, we're going to talk about the MetaHuman process, we're going to talk about what's available within Replikant. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take actually a funny video that Epic put out today on their socials, and it was about the MetaHuman. Is he real? Is he real? What do you mean he's not real? So we thought it would be really funny. Exactly, Abdiel has this posted up right now. We thought it would be really funny if we recreated this scene, but from the other side. Who is this MetaHuman talking to? And so in that sense, we're going to be acting out the person on the other side of the phone. We're going to recreate an environment, a scene, a MetaHuman. We're going to put that all together for all of us to talk about and see. So hello in the chat. Ooh, yes. We'll talk about the Face app. We're going to talk about other things. I have the chat window over here. So drop questions that you have in the chat. We'll be answering them as we go along. And I will briefly let Abdiel talk about Replikant that, we'll switch over real quickly.
Yes. So today we're going to be working with MetaHumans within Replikant. As Alex mentioned, we're going to take this video that Epic Games posted today, which was a complete coincidence. The video was made by a guy called Carlos Grugi Santos. And it's about a metahuman basically talking on the phone with someone that's telling him like, oh, you're not real. People are saying you're not real. And he's like, oh, what do you mean? I'm not real. I'm a metahuman. I'm real. And he's like, oh, the internet is telling you like you're not real. So Alex is going to be performing as the person he's talking to the phone with. So yeah, let's do that. Let's jump in back into Replikant.
And so we've been doing Replikant for the last couple of weeks already. So there's a ton of other videos that you can kind of use for resources, from first unveiling of Replikant to tutorial videos that we've been putting out with Replikant to the last previous live streams. For those of you that have been sort of either already bought Replikant or looking at it, right now they're almost, I believe this month, it's not, I believe, I'm relatively sure that this month you're going to be able to get it available. Right now, the only thing is that they've been going through some approval processes on the Epic Games Store. And so once that process is officially approved, you will all get your licenses if you've been pending on those. However, if you've purchased a bundle, you are going to be able to already get your Perception Neuron Studio systems or Perception Neuron 3s, which is, again, really great. You can get a head start on creating animations, your projects, anything like that. And then once the license for the software is ready for Replikant, you're going to get a hold on it. So again, stay tuned. They've got their Discord channels. We've got our own Discord channels. So if you want to stay in tune with the latest news and updates for that, make sure to drop any questions there, as well as at contact@neuronmocap.com. Perfect. That being said, why don't you walk through some of the MetaHuman features, or what someone can find right now within MetaHumans inside of the Replikant software?
Yes. So let's go right to it. So if you guys have used MetaHuman Creator, which is the Unreal MetaHuman website where you create your MetaHumans, you have different clothing, different hairstyles. You guys know with body types, they're very limited. They have around like 3 to 6 different body types, and same thing with clothing. The thing in Replikant, they expanded that library of customization when it comes to like body types, clothing features, etc. For the faces and the hair, you still have kind of the same limitations as the MetaHuman Creator website, but they will be adding more features, more groom assets, and more accessories that you will be able to customize your MetaHuman with. So yeah, let's jump right into it. Like last time, we're just using one character, so we picked one character. And I'm going to exit to the advanced UI. Here we either have a man or a female character. I will be picking a male character. And this is the MetaHuman, all the MetaHumans characters they have for now. So let's go right into it. What do you feel like looking like, Alex?
So me and Abdiel were chatting a little bit of what we wanted this sort of scene to be, and he already picked an environment. So we thought it was really funny being here in Miami. Why not let's do something that's very Miami? So we decided to go, especially because we've got aliens around here and news of different things taking place, right? So what we're going to do is I like this guy in the Hawaiian shirt, right? And I also think that it's kind of like in the video we had the Hawaiian shirt. But we're going to switch this up. So we're going to start with that because I think the MetaHuman in the other line is wearing the exact same thing. But we're going to start with this because I thought it was very Miami, right? So we're going to start with this MetaHuman here, and we're going to start adjusting. And I'm going to let Abdiel play around with this as much as he wants. He's already you're going to start seeing that he's going to go through the body type options, the customization. And again, this is a lot more freedom than what you typically get within MetaHuman Animator or a MetaHuman Creator. So what that means is that here we're able to adjust the proportions, and you can already see him switching up the muscle tone, right? How bulky, big he is. He can be a lot skinnier, he'll be a lot fatter, and all of this is fully adjustable. So like Abdiel mentioned, the MetaHuman Creator app that Epic currently has is limited to 3 body sizes, right? You have that skinny, you have that sort of average body tone, and then you have large.
And you
right?
can't really like morph body types inside that website. You're just stuck to those 3 different body types. Here you're able to take different like body types, like you can see right now. I'm playing with it live, and you're able to kind of morph different body types together and get a whole new thing.
100%. And what's important is, again, like as we talk about Replikant and the way that it is sort of structured as a sort of standalone software, everything lives within Replikant. The reason that's really important is they want to add all these customizational features that you have as a creator. But one of the things is that as they start adding more clothing, more options for what someone is doing, what you're able to like look at, the reason that they do this is that the body sizes are templated to match with like the clothing, right? So whether you're picking a manga style avatar in the beginning, or you're going to be picking, let's say, a MetaHuman later or anything like that, you're going to be able to make sure that the shape of the clothing fits around the body type, the dimensions, anything like that. So all those things are already sort of like pre-adjusted and preset to make your lives as creators easier when you are using Replikant. And so Abdiel's having fun with the character avatar that we have right now. He's sort of playing around with it. And again, you're seeing all that customization that you have that you don't typically have when you are using just the MetaHuman software on its own. So what other things are you seeing here, Abdiel, that you don't typically find when you are just using MetaHumans standalone?
I would say the biggest advantage here would be exactly what we're playing with right now, which is the body proportions, the head size. You're limited to like a specific head size within in the MetaHuman Creator website. You can scale it up, but to a certain level. Mm-hmm. Here you can exaggerate it to a level that the MetaHuman Creator website will not let you pass those rules, mm-hmm. basically. I would say here the biggest advantage would be body proportions, but also clothing. They have a way bigger variety of clothing library, and yeah, that's I would say those are the 2 biggest advantages of having MetaHumans within Replikant.
Yeah, so I'll let Abdiel continue to sort of adjust and change the clothing, and I'll kind of look at some of the things here. So MetaHumans currently does let you change body types, but there's only 3 presets, right? So like the scalability that you're seeing now in real time doesn't necessarily, isn't fully available for within the MetaHuman Creator app, right? So here what you're really seeing is the alternative of like scaling body sizes up and down, body shapes, adding muscle tone, definition around the body, and even these odd proportions that are preset within Replikant, you're able to adjust this all in real time, which I think is not only applicable towards MetaHumans, but it's applicable for any other type of character that you're designing within Replikant. Again, this whole idea with Replikant is that you're able to sort of think of an idea, play around, and create something that you truly want to interact with and play around with and create and tell stories with. So that's why it's made to be in this sort of fashion of freedom. And what Abdiel is doing now is he's dragging and dropping in different faces for blending in together, again, for the MetaHuman. And again, this is also something that you can also do within the MetaHuman Creator. But again, here you're getting a lot more scalability, is like what I'm saying. Scalability and customization that you don't find in its standalone software. So I guess he's gonna make me a very round Miamian, right? I'm living a Brickell City life in my condominium. I have a friend on the other side that I will be calling very soon. And so obviously you're playing around with things here, Abdiel. What clothing options are available and what other things can we see within Replikant that are available?
Yes. So again, just like other 3D characters within Replikant, you have the same clothing and
the standard ones that you would find, right?
Yeah, clothing and accessory features that you would find on a regular 3D character within Replikant, and all of those fit MetaHuman perfectly. It doesn't matter what body type you're morphing it with. If you see the body going through the shirt, you can easily adjust that here. I will try to find one that's going through so you guys can see how easy it is to adjust that and adjust the clothing to the body type that you're using. Same thing with the pants. We have a huge library of different pants color, texture, lengths, etc. You will not get this amount of
As it stands right now, you don't get that level of customization.
Yeah, in the MetaHuman creator website, you're not getting this amount of clothing assets and library. Same thing with the shoes. In the MetaHuman website, you have around like 6 to 8 different type of shoes. Here you get a whole library. You can adjust them. It also changes your height depending on the
what you're wearing.
Of what you're wearing, etc.
Yeah, so again, as Abdiel's going through this whole thing, again, we're emphasizing it just because of a customization level, and we're also playing around, as we've done in other streams, with creating content that is easy and just fun to create very quickly. So this customization, as we talk about it as it stands, remember that what we're showing here today will change, not necessarily that things will continue to grow over time. New assets, new libraries will be available. There will be packs that you'll be able to add on. So then that way you can truly have the freedom and control during the creative process that you guys are using. So Abdiel's still playing around, just picking things up. But again, as you guys are looking around him doing that, for anyone that is joining us right now, that's jumping in, what we are doing is we're going to recreate, or I shouldn't say recreate, we're going to be adding on to the MetaHuman scene that was available that Epic posted today, right? The Be Real scene. We're going to be on the other side of that phone, and we're going to be talking to that MetaHuman and telling him that he's not real. So we're recreating a scene. We're playing that around. We're going to be setting the scene here from our MetaHuman avatar. We're scaling ourselves to be in this sort of loft environment. We thought this was very Miami, so heart of Miami, downtown. We're in Brickell. I'm being very fashionable. Abdiel's making sure of that. And then we're gonna add on those elements where we're gonna add the character and the environment. So it's okay. Booting Replikant back up. Even with Unreal, sometimes those things crash, but that's totally fun. That's the nature of doing it live. Again, you're seeing the real-time mocap as well, which is something that we have. I'm still here moving around in real time. And nothing has essentially changed for what we're here, right? We're doing all of this. Again, I'm wearing the Perception Neuron Studio system. We're using Replikant. We've got our environment. We're using our 3D avatar, and we're recreating a scene. So again, quick and easy to select those things.
I'm going to connect the mocap so people can see how you can edit the character, the MetaHuman live with live mocap, something that you're not able to do within the MetaHuman creator website either. So character 00, and that way you see Alex.
So I am now live here with the MetaHuman. Let me get a quick A pose.
So I'm resuming your posture. Stay in A pose, look forward, walk around.
Oh, let's
recalibrate real quick.
I'm like,
all right.
Cool. Yeah, so we're gonna recalibrate, and you guys will see this live. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and stand back here. Abdiel will call out the calibration so you guys can see it.
Ready? Okay, we're starting with the T pose in 3, 2, 1, hold.
And again, this is very quick in terms of first setup. And we can also, as what we're doing, which is the A pose, which is a quick resume of what one is able to do. So here's our walk. I'm walking for 6 steps, and then
B pose in 3, 2, 1. Raise your arms.
And last stream we were using the Perception Neuron 3, so you're able to see the 2 different systems that we've been using for our streams and the packages that we're offering. So cool. So I'm there, I'm back, I'm recalibrated. Again, very quick and very easy for what we're doing. So as we're here and as we're doing things, I'm live in the loft that Abdiel has created.
Perfect. So let's keep editing this MetaHuman in real time. Let me save the project. Save project as, and let's call it desktop. And
so he's saving the project same way as you would save any type of project. Again, just for example, like how we had like the crash there, you want to make sure that you have your project properly saved. And again, with saved, still streaming, still doing everything as we're moving around and streaming in real time. One of the things that we also have is our facial capture. So as he's editing, I'm going to go ahead and put this on so you guys can also see what it looks like to have the facial capture throughout.
Okay, you ready? Let's add the facial capture. For the facial capture, it's a pretty straightforward steps. You're basically going to make sure the iPhone is connected to the same network that your computer. Then you're going to make sure the IP address on the application it's the same. Right now we're using the Lifelink Face app, which is completely free. It's an Unreal app. You select the Lifelink Face app and the iPhone should pop out. And there you go. We have a MetaHuman with MetaHuman blend shapes.
Yeah. And now I'm here. I'm in my loft in Miami, right? This is me. I'm here. And we're going to be talking to the other MetaHuman pretty shortly once Abdiel finishes with the customization. But keeping in line with what you guys are seeing here, right? Like as he's adjusting, as he's moving things around, we're having, right? Like I'm going from skinny to fat to big to tall to short, all these different things and all these different options that Replikant has available for users of its software, which is fantastic. I'll see if there's any questions possibly in the chat that need to be answered that I will answer right now. And let's see. So more details about our Face app, and while Abdiel does that, I'll let him sort of answer some of those. So what our Face Capture app is, we released this a couple months ago, but it is called the Axis Face app. You get it available on our website. It's also available on the iOS app. The reason that we decided to launch our own app is because we wanted to have a centralized app that connects to multiple different platforms. So you still get the standard of exporting as an FBX, which is great because you can take that into Maya, you can take that into Motion Builder, you can take it into Unreal, whatever it is. But we wanted to have an app that at the same time was going to be able to give you the ability to start streaming in real time to Houdini, for example, to Maya, to Unreal, to Unity, where you didn't have to have a standalone app for each, for example, for each different software. So it was one of the key things that we looked at in designing our own app, and we worked with our partners at Zero Transform to create that. And the nice thing is that we've got the addition of having those WAV files, so you are able to get the sound recorded on the app as well. And yeah, you can speak a little bit more to what that app offers, Abdiel.
Yeah, so like Alex mentioned, the app basically records an FBX files using the AR kit. So it's using the 52 blend shapes and the character. You will get that 52 blend shape animation depending on what you recorded. And you're able to actually connect that data into any 3D characters that's using the same system. And what makes our app special also, it's the fact that it connects directly to Axis Studio. So you don't have to start recording on the phone and start recording in Axis Studio and using like a timecode device to synchronize that data. Once the app is connected to Axis Studio, you can start recording in Axis Studio and it would start recording in the app at the same time. So by the click of one button, you would be able to start recording in both devices, and it's already synchronized. So the timecode, you wouldn't need a third-party timecode device to synchronize that data. That's one of the biggest things that our facial app offers.
We have a question on Instagram asking if we can use this on Unreal Engine 5.
So you can use The app within, yes, Unreal Engine 5. But for example, like what we're doing right here within Replikant, it is a standalone software and it is updated to be on Unreal Engine 5. Correct me if I'm wrong, Abdiel. But everything that we're doing in terms of streaming mocap data, streaming our motion capture data that you're seeing here live right now as I'm moving around and everything, this is compatible with Unreal Engine 5. We're updated in the Unreal Marketplace. So if you could download our LiveLink app, you're going to be able to get that. We are on 5.3. And I believe versions 5.1 to 5.3 are available. In addition to that, we have versions that are all the way back to, I believe, 4.26 on our GitHub. So then that way you can also have resources if you are, using an older legacy version of Unreal. So yes, it is fully compatible with Unreal 5. Everything that you're seeing streamed. Obviously, we're using Replikant as sort of the end use here, but we could be doing all of this directly live inside of Unreal as well.
Our facial apps also works with Unreal. Not live yet, unfortunately, we don't have the live feature yet, but you can import that facial FBX and import it into any 3D character inside Unreal that's using the 52 blend shapes format, and it works perfectly fine.
I like the black suit. I feel like that's the Miami influencer like workout guy.
This one right here?
No, the other one, the one that you had, that was all black. Yeah. Now this feels like a guy that owns an apartment in Brickell in Miami, who's a fitness instructor. And sells YouTube videos for like $100 a piece. And he'll make sure that you are taking your creatine properly and definitely not trying to take illegal substances to get big. So I have our big, yep, right here, my Metahuman fully customized that we have here. And we're gonna, again, the customization options that are here are super available. You can see that there's adjustments that one can make to the body to make sure that it fits properly, which is great too, because with all the different clothing options, you can make sure that it fits the way that you want it to fit. Whether that's jeans, shorts, shoes, socks, underwear, different things that are here, you're able to fully adjust that available. And like as Abdil's doing that, right, I'm kind of like also here. He's doing that, I can kind of see it. I like what he's doing, which is switching things around. He's making his minor adjustments that are there. And I'm leaning down so you guys can also see that I'm still moving around in real time. I still got full facial expressions, everything that's taking place throughout this avatar creation process that we have going on here throughout the stream.
We had another question on Instagram asking, how does capturing audio at the same time work with the face?
So Abdil can speak a little bit more to this, but what you would do is you can synchronize from our Access Studio software. So essentially the Face app is connected to Access Studio. And when you hit record in Access Studio, it will record in the Access Face app. And so when it records in the Access Face app, not only are you getting the data from the facial capture from the 52 blend shapes, but it's also going to immediately start recording that WAV file. Once that take is done, it's going to give you in the repository, in that folder where the take is saved, it's going to give you the motion capture data that you've gotten for the facial points, and it's also going to separate the WAV file. So then that way it's recorded in real time and it's time synced to what you're doing. So if you're using a time code, it's going to recognize that, or it's going to use the internal time code for the computer that you're working with. Anything in addition to that, Abdil? I think that's pretty much the workflow process.
You pretty much covered everything, but it's basically recording the audio coming from the phone. So whenever you're recording the facial and you're actually talking, it's recording the audio whatever you're saying, it's recording that. And again, the audio is also synchronized with the time code system, because you only start recording with the Access Studio and everything is synchronized. So you're having facial, body animation, and audio all synchronized without having to use a third-party time code device to synchronize everything. So yeah, we already have the.
We have our
MetaHuman.
character, our MetaHuman. Maybe you should save the MetaHuman, and let's save.
I already saved the project.
Cool.
You code it. You code it.
Oh, did it just go?
Yeah.
It's okay. We've saved the project, which is great, which is also why it's really important to make sure that these things are here. And there's things that we're also playing around with because our computer, we're constantly adding different things onto it, and we're running a sort of right now an internal build of Replikant. So don't mind these crashes. Obviously, the final build that you guys will be playing around with will be much more stable. Let's see, we've got another question on Instagram.
Yeah, does the data get merged, that spatial body, when recording to Access Studio?
No, so they're separate. And so you're going to have body data inside of Access Studio. And then the facial capture data you will then import into something else. So that will be, for example, like Maya. And inside of Maya, you will merge those two pieces of data together. But again, the important thing is because they are time coded together from the time that you click start in Access Studio to the minute that you click stop, that data is recorded and saved and synchronized. So then that way, syncing up those two different pieces of information will not be difficult. Again, correct me if I'm wrong on that, Abdiel, but again, that process should be seamless, especially because they are recorded, start and stopped at the same time.
Yep, that's pretty much it, Alex. That's pretty much it.
Cool. I'm glad as we have viewers on YouTube, but we also have viewers on Instagram, which is fantastic. It's the first time that we're able to sort of properly do this stream here into Instagram Live, where we're also showing the process inside of Replikant. So for those of you that are watching, thank you so much. Love getting this feedback. Again, everything that we're doing is live. I think one of the important things as we talk about the evolution of Mocap and everything that we're doing and why Replikant is so powerful as it stands is that everything that we're doing is for real-time content creation, but you can obviously do this for post work as well. The nice thing is that if you're someone who is a VTuber, a streamer, someone who wants to get involved into 3D animation, you don't know where to start. This is really simple and easy to use, right? I think the really powerful thing to think about when you're talking about, let's say, 3D software, like AI solutions that are all camera-based or anything like that, it's that none of that data is in real time. So if you're going to be looking back on it, you have to go through processing, it has to go through the cloud, you have to look at it, and then you probably still have to make adjustments to it afterwards. So I think it's really important to note that what we're doing here is demonstrating the power of real-time motion capture and how it can be applied to real-time animation, how it can be used for broadcast, how it can be used for previs, where they're getting real-time results right now. And we don't limit you in terms of software. So our software is 100% free for those of you on Instagram that are joining us for the first time, or for anyone that's on YouTube and watching us for the first time. Our software is 100% completely free. What that means is that there is a one-time hardware cost on what you get, whether that is the Perception Neuron Studio or you're getting the Perception Neuron 3. And with that includes our Access Studio software. Our Access Studio software does real-time streaming like we have here. It'll be recording, so you can go with the FBX and clean it up afterwards. Or you can go ahead and do something else like recording calc data, so you can do research, anything like that. So I think it's really important, again, to note that this stuff is available and that you get resources for software available for free. We're constantly updating and changing things around for our users. I'm going to take this off real quick. Anything that you get with, I'm actually going to ask you to recalibrate me once I'm done, because I'm going to switch this around because so it's easier for me to see at the screen. I'm flipping around my head. Abdiel's going to have this helmet on real quick. So let's recalibrate. What I did was switch my sensor from front to back. I think that's one of the cool things that we're able to sort of adjust in real time because, it doesn't affect the position of what's happening. But the reason I'm doing this right now is between the helmet and me trying to see the screen and any of the chat things, it's a little bit difficult. So again, right now I'm still here. I'm still streaming in real time. I'm still moving around. I'm going to ask Abdiel to calibrate again. So if you are watching this calibration process and you're seeing it for the first time, you're going to be able to see how quick and easy it is, right? So I'm ready whenever you are, Abdiel.
Ready? All right, let's start with the T-pose.
Perfect. So we've got a T-pose here.
In 3, 2, 1, hold.
And again, this is a pretty quick process.
2, 1, hold. Prepare to walk. 3, 2, 1, walk. B pose in 3, 2, 1, raise.
And these last two that we have here are for our finger capture. So we have like a B pose, which is called Buddha, and then the pinch for our fingers. And once that's set and ready, we're good to go. And so again, all I did here before the calibration was switch my head sensor from forward to back. And I did that so we can see a little bit more properly the chat and communication was taking place. But again, still streaming, so I didn't have to do anything new, and Abdiel didn't have to do anything new to make sure that my data was still streamed into Replikant. It was still taking place, it still picked up the new calibration, and nothing had to be adjusted. So where are you gonna move me? Am I gonna stay in this loft up here? Am I gonna move to maybe my brickle kitchen down in the bottom? What are we looking at? So we're gonna move this avatar, right? So I'm gonna stay still real quick so it makes it a little bit easier for Abdiel to position me in our environment.
Do you want to just,
and he's gonna move me around. Perfect, yeah. Any other questions that are taking place over on Instagram?
Yes, can we import our own empty plots?
Into Replikant, I'm assuming, right? It means any things that we can import MD cloths into Replikant Abdiel.
No, not yet. I'm not sure if the team is planning on letting people import cloth there, but you're not able to import for now. It does have its own, like, it's using the clothing dynamics from Unreal, and it is going to have clothing dynamics, but you're not able to import your own, unfortunately.
You can import textures, correct?
Yes. You can
so
import
textures you can import, so like if you have a logo, if you have branding, anything like that, you're able to import it. And one of the things I guess I talked about in the beginning, and again, if you joined us afterwards, like totally cool, thank you so much for joining us. One of the things with the way that the clothing functionality works is that all of the clothing is dynamic, from anything that's an anime style character to a child to MetaHuman like we have here. So because all of those things need to be fit to not just work for a MetaHuman, they have to work for all those character sizes, proportions, and things of that nature. It's a reason right now that they've sort of, I wouldn't say landlocked it, but have made it to try to be as simple as possible. So those functionalities that you're talking about, importing the MD or anything like that, is possible. You know, they're aware of those requests, I would say. But for now, think of this library as what's existing, and that they will continually add on to that, but know that you can add your own logos and textures into Replikant that you can import. And again, you can work in that regard, you know, without having to worry about maybe something that you wanted to have a specific dynamics for. Cool. So he's got the character now in the new location. He's resetting the motion capture. So once it's connected, I am here. I'm live. Maybe you should zero me out.
Yep.
Perfect. So I'm going to stand here, make it a little bit easier. So Abdiel can just reset me in space. He's going to go back to Replikant. I'm here. It looks like I have a really great fancy kitchen that I pay at least $4,000 a month for. Even as a MetaHuman, it's you don't escape inflation. Cool thing is that right now what we've talked about, and we talked about this scene a little bit beforehand, is that for the phone that we're going to have, Abdiel is going to bind a phone to my hand, right? So I don't have any physical props around me, but he is going to bind, meaning he's going to connect the phone to my hand, and I'm going to use that as sort of the prop for this scene.
So I'll be showing you guys how to do that, because that would be our next step before adding the cameras. So we go here to the scene list where you get all your props or your additional meshes you want to play around with, and I'm going to type phone. And they only have one phone feature for now, so it would be this one right here. And to point it to this hand, which is the right hand, I would basically go to attachment, where it says parent. I would click on the select parent right here, and it will select the MetaHuman. So once this is done, where it says socket, you would click on the drop down menu and you would select what socket do you want to parent the phone to. In our case would be the right hand, and there you go, it's already parented. Now you just I have to go in and place it where I want.
So he's making adjustments now for the phone, same as you would be making for like a prop in Unreal or for anything else that you're working with. So here he's doing it, making it look pretty seamless. He's just changing the roll. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And maybe if we just move it up a little bit.
Yep. Up to the front. And then there you go. Let me rotate it a little bit.
Cool. So that looks cool. Look, hey, and now I'm gonna have my face capture app. So we're gonna be talking. I'm gonna talk to my MetaHuman colleague on the other side and be like, "Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Do you know that you're not real?" And then he's gonna say, "What? What do you mean I'm not real? I'm a MetaHuman, and I'm also a MetaHuman." And that's what we're gonna be playing around with. So Abdiel's saving the scene again. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my facial capture helmet right here. And again, we're back with, again, streaming the facial data, again, in real time, streaming my mocap data in real time. We're doing a MetaHuman, so this is a MetaHuman right now, customized proportions, customized clothing. I've got the prop that's ready to go. I feel like I look a little bit like, from far away, it looked like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson when he's got like the gold chain around him. So it looked pretty funny, but it's cool. I feel like this is a perfect like Miami environment. And what Abdiel's gonna be playing around with right now is he's gonna be setting cameras. So for the scene that we're shooting, he obviously has to place cameras around to make sure that it looks at me, it looks at like what's taking place. And these are all pretty simple and standard, and he's kind of walking through this process right now. So what are you doing right now, Abdiel, for the cameras?
So I talked about this a little bit on our last live stream. If you haven't seen it, you should go check it out because I talk a little bit more in detail about the cameras and the sequencer. But basically, I created a track camera. I clicked on add track, and I created a camera from the viewport. Unfortunately, let's relaunch Replikant. I'm sorry on that. I created a camera from the viewport, and then I started tweaking the camera view where I really want the camera to be at. And what I was going to do now is changing the focus of the camera. So I'm going to select the MetaHuman and tell the camera to always be focusing on the MetaHuman and kind of like blur the background a little bit. And I'll show you how to do that right now. So
and again, this is all simple right now because Abdiel saved the project. So he saved basically the scene, the character, the prop, all those things that are there. It makes it really simple. So then that way, all he has to do is load the project back up, reconnect the motion capture for the face and for the body. And then he's going to set his cameras and adjust those things. So you're seeing he's going through that process right now.
So again, I would add track. I will create a camera from the viewport. The camera is right here. I will click on open camera preview and edit. So right now I'm looking at what the camera is actually looking at. I will move it to where I want. In this case, I'm going to put it right here for now. And on the focus settings, I'm gonna click on tracking. There are 3 options. You can have it disabled, manual, so you can manually set your focal distance in your camera lens. Or you can set it up to tracking, which is what I'm going to do, and select parent, and I will select the MetaHuman. As you can see, the name of the MetaHuman, it's right here. So you would just have to start playing with basically with the settings until you get what you want to. I talk about these options a little bit more on our last live stream where we recreated a meme. So if you haven't checked that out, you should go and check that out. Manual, and there you go. You can kind of like...
And I think we've talked about, because this is sort of like piggybacking a lot off of Unreal, it's that for anyone that knows Unreal, it's going to be really easy to pick up Replikant and start playing around with it. And vice versa, if you start playing around with Replikant, because there's so many tools and resources already for the Unreal standpoint, and the things that are coming out from the Replikant end is that you can then take this and have, you know, for lack of a better word, transferable skills into Unreal Engine. Meaning you're going to be able to understand the logic for cameras, you're going to be able to understand the logic for the mocap, you're going to be able to understand the logic for putting a scene together, an environment, connecting different nodes. All of those things are going to be able to be existent within Replikant, and again, transferable over to Unreal Engine, because a lot of that same logic is the same. But again, what Replikant does really well, and what is so exciting about using it as sort of this tool for content creation, is that it's an open library of content, and that's from generating characters to generating environments to putting things together for end product solutions, whether it is for an animatic, a pitch, whether you're doing a story, a short, or you are a VTuber and creating your own custom avatar, you're able to do that. So here I'm obviously like still streaming live, I've got my mocap going on, I've got my phone, I've got things going on. So all of those things are fantastic from that end. So,
and track and
let's see.
avatars, and we add the avatar to the sequencer.
What are you adding
Again-
right now, Abdiel?
Again, yes, I added the avatar to the sequencer so we can do a whole proper recording. Again, I talk about this in detail on our last live stream. We kind of did the same thing. We set up cameras, we set up an environment, avatars within the sequencer. You have to make sure the upper body is selected, the lower body is selected, and in our case, we're recording facial capture. So we have to make sure the facial is selected, so that way you record facial animation as well.
Awesome. So as he adds those tracks and those things are there, I'm going to take a quick moment and see if there's any questions maybe on the other side, anything that is available that we've got either on YouTube or on Instagram. Any questions from live audience?
Any plans on a mockup cleanup feature in Access for a separate app?
So mockup cleanup, the closest I'd say is that right now we have our data processing function. So if it seems like you're an existing user, so contact point editing is something that is available within Access Studio. So if you use Access Studio, you're able to edit contact points. So there's a data processing function. What that does is it will analyze your take and ground your foot contact, so left foot, right foot. But you're also able to add contact points for the hands, the feet, and the hip. And so that's the closest in terms of a linear, I would say, cleanup process that you're able to do. Otherwise, you can take your data and clean it up within Motion Builder, Maya, or Unreal, correct, Abdiel?
Or Blender.
Or Blender.
Yeah.
Yes. I think the data quality that one gets out of Access Studio is already super, super solid. So using the data processing function is sort of like that extra 10% that you get, because it just solidifies what you're already getting within the software. So if there's something very specific that you're looking for that you'd like to see, obviously send us an email at contact@mocap.com. We'll take a look at it and see how we can implement it for future things. Right now we have a software that I don't think Access Post is cleanup, right? It's more for a retargeter.
It's more for retargeting.
Retargeting. But there are software and solutions that we're working with that will make it easy for our users and our customers. So anytime that there's any feedback like that of things that you would like to see, don't hesitate to let us know. All of that is important to make sure that we're able to produce and supply you with the type of product that you want to be using at the end of the day. Anything else?
Can the Neuron Studio gloves work standalone, or do they need the whole suite?
So that is a great question. The Studio gloves are able to be worked as a standalone. So the nice thing with Perception Neuron, and not just the Studio system or the PN3, it's that all of our systems are completely modular, and that's been true since day one with the Perception Neuron 32. What that means is that we've never limited the number of sensors that you can use on the body, minus the minimum number that is for operational use. What that means is that yes, you can use the gloves in standalone mode. You can use one glove by itself. You can use two gloves for itself. You can use just 3 sensors on the body if you wanted to. You can do 17 for full body minus gloves. You can do 27 like I'm doing now. You can do 11. You can do 3. You can do a 9. So we have a what's called working modes within our software.
I
We
can
also
show
have.
them what it looks like. I
Oh,
can show them
cool.
the
So go
working
ahead and
modes.
show what the working modes is. And this is even all of them because there's a lot of different things are available. But this working mode sheet is sort of like a template that one can use as a guide for what is available for them, right? And so we talk about full body, we talk about gloves, we talk about the max number of sensors and anywhere in between. So things that aren't covered here, for example, is, oh, actually it is, right? So legs by themselves, we have upper body. So if you're like a news anchor, or maybe you're like a host or a presenter that wants to have a presentation live on stage and you just want to, for example, do triggers and effects and you can just walk around and have things like that. So all of those things are available within the software. So we don't limit you to sort of saying you have to wear all 27 sensors or all 18 sensors, for example, on the PN3. You can absolutely mix and match to have a comfortable configuration for you. We know that sometimes people are VTubers and they like to stand up. Sometimes people are working at desks and they don't need to have the feet. Things like that. You have full freedom from that standpoint.
Can we export the capture to other softwares?
So you can export capture from Perception Neuron to multiple softwares, i.e. Unreal, Unity, into multiple platforms. But capture that you're getting from here, for example, with Replikant, what you're going to be able to do is there's a streamer mode, and the streamer mode, what it allows you to do is then stream data from Replikant to Twitch, YouTube. I believe like they're adding multiple social media platforms as well.
Like TikTok,
so TikTok,
Facebook.
things like that. So it's built as a export function for a streaming function for other platforms. So think of like your OBS window for this. And the streamer mode, what's cool with that is that when you are in streamer mode, people will see the final output of what you're doing. And you can still have this sort of customization that you're seeing that we're doing here live on the stream.
Back to the previous question.
Yeah.
He's asking, does this mean I can use the gloves with PN3?
So you would not be able to use them at the same time. So the way that you would have to do this, and so this question being, can I use, for example, PN3 body and PN Studio gloves at the same time? So you wouldn't be able to connect them within Axis at the same time because they don't detect, right? It's one, they will conflict with one another. However, this is like the super inconvenient workaround that you would possibly be able to do, which is you can use one computer with Axis Studio running PN3 and use another computer using Axis Studio and just the PN Studio gloves. And in that scenario, what you can do is merge the data, for example, like in iClone, or even here in Replikant. Like iClone gives you the functionality of selecting body and gloves separately. Replikant also lets you select body and gloves separately. So you're going to be able to combine those two data points and data sets together at the same time, and that's how you would marry the two data streams. So unfortunately, it's not necessarily like a straightforward path that you can just use Axis Studio, combine the two things and work. They would essentially work. You would just have to kind of navigate that through internally third-party software.
We're just getting tons of love from India.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Thank you for anyone who's watching us from India, anyone who's watching us locally in the US, anyone that is from Miami. I'd love to see if anyone here is from Miami who's watching us. Would be super cool. Because we are live from our studios here in Miami, meaning that like if you're watching and you're interested in coming for a visit, please let us know. We have a full mocap volume as you're seeing here, a green screen space. We've got our NordVPS setup. We've got a full mocap arrangement from virtual production to green screen to broadcast like we're doing now. So it's really open for anyone who's interested in checking out the hardware locally, wanting to do a demo, but also available for like rentals, shoots, anything like that. We do that here from our studio. We also do that from our studios down in Los Angeles. So if you are in the LA area, you're able to do that as well. So how are things looking, Abdiel?
I'm ready to start recording.
You're ready to start recording?
Yeah.
Cool. we're approaching the 3 o'clock time, which means that it's been a little bit over an hour or getting close to an hour. So what I'm gonna ask Abdiel real quick as I put on my my headset is let's do a quick A pose, reset the way I am. Those cameras are set, and then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and record. So let's go to Access Studio. Let's do a calibration, quick A pose.
A pose. You resume its posture.
Cool. So my posture is reset, really easy, and we're back in Replikant. We're gonna open it up. He saved it, no worries, we're good.
Again, guys, we're using an internal version of Replikant, so we're testing this out. Like it's a new version. Don't worry about these crashes. This is just our version for now.
Yeah, it's cool. Again, it's part of it doing it live, which is fantastic. You're seeing that, but we're still running our mocap data in the background, 100% live, 100% in real time. And so all essentially it is we're using our third-party software partner from Replikant to create our animation for what we have here. So again, since all those cameras and all those things were set, all Abdiel has to do is reconnect me and my mocap, and then we'll be ready to go ahead and record. So I've got my phone, I'm ready.
Ready, you got your phone. Select camera 1. Let me make sure the camera is placed properly. There you go. Wow.
So you're just moving
wait,
around the camera right now. You're
There
seeking
you
it.
go.
You're looking for it.
No. The camera, for some reason, the focal length value changed.
No worries.
So
It's okay.
it
We're still here. I've still got my phone.
Still
I'm going to go ahead and call my buddy in a second.
Okay, look the other way. Like instead of looking this way, no, the other way. There you go. There you go.
All right. So I'm going to look this way. I'm going to be like calling the guy. I'm going to be like, hey,
Yeah, there you go.
you know you're not real, right?
And then I'll add track and I will select the avatar, which is Ezekiel. Again, make sure that your upper body is working, lower body, and facial it's working. I mean, it's enabled. That way you record everything. Make sure you click on your camera and you're looking through your camera. You can select the cameras. Camera 1. There you go. And
So
yep.
you've got all that almost set. So yeah, I'm in position. Abdiel setting up those cameras. We've got our reference. I'm here.
Update and let's go for it. Now
Cool, but I need to know what the guy's saying. So I'm going to rewatch this first video. Actually, could you hand me my phone real quickly?
I have it here if you want.
Am I able to hear it? Let's see. No, I can't hear that from
No,
there.
you can't.
What do you mean I'm not?
All right.
So what I'm going to do is, if you could pass me my phone real quickly. Something that I'm doing that I highly recommend that not to do is to be using a phone at the same time. Not because essentially with the magnetic on the phone, you don't want to mess up the sensors on your fingers, but for the sake of doing the take, I'm going to be using this as sort of like my reference guide for what's taking place. And one of the funny things, you could go back into Replikant, Abdiel, is that as I'm doing this in the style of a Miamian. So we kind of joked about this beforehand. We thought it'd be really funny. So here in my Brickell apartment that we're doing it, we're going to be going and doing this scene, right? So the camera is all set. It's ready to go there. Yeah. So we've got movement here. But yeah, definitely recommend using phone at the same time. So cool. This is going to be the angle. This is going to be the shot. I'm going to be doing the phone here. I'm going to raise the volume a little bit here so I can listen to it. I can hear it.
So
Let me know when you're ready, Abdiel.
Yes. So for recording, you will just start recording this button right here. You will do a slow countdown and...
Oh, you're recording?
Yes, we're recording.
You're recording. Okay, cool. So let's see. I'm going to try to listen to this. Ring, 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 ring. Oye, te voy a decir algo. Tú no eres de verdad. No, tú no eres de verdad, man. Dicen que no eres de verdad. I heard on the internet. El internet. Only in day dice que tú no eres de verdad. Only in Dade. Ajá, ajá. De verdad, man, tengo que irme, dale. No, yo sé, yo soy un Metahuman también, yo soy de verdad. Ok, dale. So, really rough. I was reading this, like we had no script, we were doing it on the fly. Let's see what it looks like, and if we don't like it, we'll do it again. If we like it, we might keep it. Let's see. Go ahead, Abdiel.
So to watch your recording take, you would have to first stop streaming animation, because Replikant doesn't really like that yet, and to watch it, oh, I'm sorry on that. There you go. So in our case, you would click on render, select your render settings. Let's just render it out real quick just to see how it would look from the camera view.
The nice thing with this is that you're obviously rendering and you're taking it out, but this is there. Would you be able to add more cameras if you wanted to afterwards?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
It did not record from the camera that it should be recording, but your motions there, that would be a quick just switching camera view and re-rendering the whole thing. But that's how you're...
That's currently the angle that it was shot in, right? What was filmed?
It was a closer angle.
Yeah.
So it recorded from like a different camera that was on the scene. But yes, your animations there, facial, like your body animations there, your facial animations there as well.
No, that's not bad. So we'll look at it from the other angle. Nico, any questions currently live from the audience, maybe on Instagram, from YouTube? Any questions?
No, but somebody said you forgot to say papi.
Oh, papi, yeah. I was like, you know, we had this whole thing like planned beforehand. I was gonna be like, dímelo Corillo, ¿cómo está? And then I realized that the timeline is so short. It's only 30 seconds and I have to like record. So I think if this take is fine, what I'll do is I'm gonna re-record the audio anyway, since I don't have any recorded audio from like the iPhone here, and I'm not recording necessarily audio from the live stream. So what I'll probably end up doing is just doing a quick voiceover to time it with the sequence of what we shot with the animation. Which I think should be pretty funny. I've kind of had a linear thought for the take, but I think it should be super funny putting it together. It'll be like one of those like Peachy Boy films, like a dub of what we're doing. But that idea of it being very Miami, I think is super funny because again, coincidentally, we got the idea. We knew we were going to do Metahumans today, but the fact that Unreal was doing sort of put out this Metahuman today, this sort of like conversation like that the Metahuman was having, we thought it was super funny and had the idea like right before the stream. I was like, let's do this, let's go for it, let's stream it, let's do it live, which we've recorded, we're doing it, we'll see what it looks like, and then we'll put it together. And like I did last time, and like what we did last time after the stream, is we'll cut it down, we'll simplify this whole thing for anyone that is wanting to rewatch. You'll be able to see live the mocap that we recorded and we streamed throughout the entire process. You're going to see what it looks like from the creation standpoint to what it looked like for final project that we put together. So this whole timeline, I think, is really, really great. So let's render it out, or if it's already rendered, if it's not, we'll take a look.
No, I didn't render it like pro, so.
But that take should be saved on there, right?
It should be.
So let's see. Adio's gonna go, he's gonna look for it. Yeah, that was me picking up the phone. Good, nice. I look like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I render from a different camera. We would have to we're gonna re-render this again. We're gonna add audio to synchronize the whole thing because it didn't have any audio whatsoever.
Yeah, so we'll play around with this, but it looks like it's there. And the only reason I'm gonna start to cut you off and end it there, we'll play around with this to put out a final piece, is that it's already 3:10. So it's a little bit over an hour. I'm gonna take questions for the next maybe 2 minutes. If there's anything left on Instagram or YouTube, any questions that anyone has, please ask them now. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. I want to thank Abdiel for operating Replikant, Nico, who's in the back, who is running our live feed. Happy New Year to everyone who is watching and anyone who hasn't had that Happy New Year message. Really excited for 2024 and for what's coming up. Towards the last couple of messages of things that we talked about currently it's CES week. You can get an awesome deal with Perception Neuron 3, which is an award-winning solution, not only multiple awards, but also a CES 2022 honoree innovation award that was just 2022, and that means that you can get that package with Replikant bundled together for $4,999. It's an incredible deal. It's a one-time cost on that. Replikant is included with a one-time year license for it, which is amazing. In addition to that, you're going to be able to get the face helmet that we talked about. We have a lot of cool little different things. We talked about the Face app, or Access Face app, which is now $200. It's a great price reduction. And again, those going to be continuing to be updated with new features and functionalities. And currently right now, for anyone that is watching, if you are based in Turkey, you're going to Istanbul the week of, let's say, January 20th. Abdiel will be there next week. They're leaving to Istanbul. He will be there with our president, where we will be part of Noise Istanbul. It's a first-year conference. I wouldn't even say conference. It's more of a communal activity where it's bringing art, music, technology, and it's bringing learning to the forefront for that region. So we're working with Notch. We'll have one of the trainers there. We're going to be talking about the history of Mocap. We're going to be talking about workflow, rigging. We're going to be talking about integrating that with Notch, with Touch Designer, Houdini, different things. So Abdiel will be there talking about that and putting that all together for everyone alongside Rock. And I think that's kind of it as terms of for this year, where we have, and February 1st, almost forgot, for anyone that is in Los Angeles, if you are interested in learning about Mocap, if you're interested in virtual production, if you're interested in getting hands-on with being a director, a cinematographer, we have an incredible workshop that is taking place that's hosted by our Los Angeles team. That is February 1st and 2nd. I believe that's a Thursday and Friday. There is a limited space. It is an 8-person class. It is 2 performers, 2 actors that will be acting out through 6 different scenes. And then the technicians will be alternating roles. You'll be able to walk away with a demo reel of what you're able to see. You're going to be able to walk away with technical knowledge, information. Our LA team is extremely skilled. They've worked on multiple projects that range from AAA titles for video games to music videos to working on TV series that include like stuff for Nickelodeon to NCIS to different like stuff for Roblox, Walmart. Professional team, top grade. They're an awesome team, and if you want to have real knowledge, real technical know-how with like what they're doing, go ahead and go to filmworkshop.neuronmocap.com to sign up. We've posted a couple things about it on socials, but feel free to reach out to us at contact@neuronmocap.com if you have any additional questions about it. So yeah, that's sort of like my wrap up thoughts while I was seeing if any questions would come in. So I'll ask Nico real quickly. Nope, we're good to go. Again, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you. Oh, we've got one question. I'll allow the last question to come in.
If I buy the Neuron Studio gloves, does that come with another license of Access Studio so I can run them separate in a separate computer like you said?
No, so you would have to get a couple different things. So for that question in regards to the Studio gloves is because it's sold as an accessory, it's sort of a complement to Perception Neuron Studio. So what you would need to do if you want to have this configuration is you would need to get the gloves, you would need to get the transceiver so it connects to the gloves, and then a dongle. If you want this setup, email us. I'll kind of walk you through it and kind of explain how this would work. Again, it's a standalone mode that is viable, but because it's all part of this sort of like an accessory package to the existing PN Studio suite, that's the way that it operates. Unfortunately, there's no easy way of linking the 2 systems together, PN3 and PN Studio. but there are workarounds. So again, reach out to us at contact@neuromocap.com. Happy to work with you in that regard. I almost think that question is from Jose, if I'm not mistaken. I almost think it's like Jose asking, or no, it's got to be not Jose. It's got to be hold on. Mr. 3D, yeah, Mr. 3D. Okay, yeah. I was gonna be like, hold on. You also asked this on Twitter, so yeah. But yeah, obviously, I know you've been asking about it. So there's obviously ways around it. I know it's not necessarily the easiest way to kind of combine the two things, but there's things that we can work with you on. So that being said, reach out to us. I want to thank everyone that was joining us again today. And we will see you next time. I think maybe not next week. We'll see if we do something next week, if not the week after. Now that we've started the new year, we kind of had a really great run towards the end where we were doing almost like weekly series of a live stream. So if you are interested in seeing more of this, if you're interested in seeing very specific videos on something that you want to see, let us know. There's things that Abdiel has on sort of backlog that he'll be working on, and we've got tutorial videos for our users. But that being said, thank you so much for joining us on our first live stream of the year. Happy New Year. Hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day and a fantastic year. So thank you so much, and we will see you next time.